Hey guys, Hardware Hound here, and today I have a gaming chair to review from OPSeat. So yeah, I was actually looking through, just kind of shopping around at gaming chairs, and I stumbled across these guys and they looked really good. So decided I'd see if we could do a review with them and see how they measure up. So yeah. We've got one here we're going to take a look at. We're going to talk about how comfortable it is and a bunch of other things. But first, we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at how this thing puts together, because overall it was a pretty easy process, but I like to give a step-by-step and show you guys how it went so that, you know, if you get a hold of one of these guys, you'll have a good idea how it works. Okay, let's get started with the step one phase of putting this chair in. So we're basically just putting the base together. So kind of look at that real quick and you can kind of see there, phase one, putting everything together. So first thing I wanted to point out is here is our little chair coasters, and I'll just try to zoom in on that a little bit closer so you can see it. So yeah, they feel nice. They don't feel too bad at all as far as I don't know, they're a little bit more solid than some of the really El Cheapo things that you might see. Since I've never had to deal with a really sturdy, heavy-duty caster, I can't say how much stronger it is there. But yeah, so basically we're just supposed to snap these guys in, and as you can see, that was not hard at all. So I'll go ahead and throw the rest of these guys in. Bam. Bam. Man, do they really want to make it this easy on me, guys? So, yeah. And then last one. So, those all popped in nice and easy. Pretty impressed with that. So, take a closer look at this guy again. Take a look at what we got going on. So, it looks like we're going to just slide our hydraulic in. Just like that. It looks like it just slides right in right now and just allows the weight of the chair to really stick it in there. I mean, as you can see, I didn't even put a ton of pressure and it's already holding pretty well. So then finally after that, we'll have a cover here that goes over top, and it looks like that was it, step one. Let's move on to step two. Okay, so we're about ready to move to step two, but before I did that, I wanted to point out something that I thought was kind of interesting. I noticed that this part of the back chair hinge is just free floating, where this one here though is actually locked by the mechanism. Now I don't think I can pull it with just my hands. I'm not going to try. Worry about that more when we get the chair together. Now the reason why I want to point that out is sometimes something like that can eventually lead to a little bit of some chair sag or something. At the same token, trying to make a mechanism that would go all the way across and block both sides at the same time can add a lot to expense. That said, if the back is made really solidly, probably won't ever really have a problem with it, and by the time it becomes a problem, the chair itself will be ready for replacement anyway. So not something I'm particularly personally concerned about, but I still want to point it out because it's just something that I noticed. So let's go ahead and move on step two and see how easy it is to put the bottom on. All right, let's move on to stage two. So really all we're doing is we're just mounting this hydraulic lever. I guess it's not the actual hydraulic part, but it's the part that controls the hydraulics onto the bottom of the seat. So what we have here is we have really a simple design. We've got just a simple nut. Let me see if I can get that to zoom in a little better. We've got a simple nut here that I guess it's a bolt that has some thread, locking thread stuff. I forget what that stuff's called, but you know what I mean. Keeps it from hopefully getting loose. But on top of that, we also have a normal washer, and we also have a little lock washer. So once we put those three things together, all we're going to have to do is go through and cinch them down into the chair here. So really simple. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy up. So the padding is a little bit tight on this side of it. So even though we'll get it figured out here. You can see here, it doesn't just drop in. So, yeah, let me just pull this guy off real quick and show you, see if I can just see how easy I can get that in. So what we're seeing here is that's not going to be a super detrimental, oh my goodness, that's a deal breaker or anything. But it's just something that if you are paying attention to it, you might have a little bit of issues. If you just keep threading the bolt, it'll actually thread itself into the material, thread itself past the material, and then get down into whatever washer is down in there past it. So once I've got that figured out, I'll go ahead and throw this guy back in. Do the same thing again. We're just going to twist, 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 get through here. It's a little bit more difficult when you have the bracket in place, but all around, not too hard. They include a little Allen wrench, so we can just go ahead and start cinching it right on down. So that's pretty simple. You know, like I said, on the back side of things, I'm pretty sure we're not going to have that issue because there's not quite as much material to work around. And so it's really easy to get these more central bolts in. Front of the chair, they've got a little thing engraved into this that I know you can't see with the camera, but it says front with an arrow. The front of my seat is right up here. Here's the back of my seat. There's the little levers there. So really straightforward. Did not see that being much problem. I will go ahead and finish getting these tightened in, and then we will just be jumping right to step 3. Okay, so stage 3 is where this might get just a little bit tricky. So basically we're just putting this back onto the base here. And you've got a couple of those the arms that hold the back of the chair, and you got to put 2 bolts in each side. Now the picture shows 1 bolt with like just 2 dotted lines going to the 2 different holes. And so what they actually mean is 2 totally separate bolts. I don't feel like that's that confusing, but you know, I figured why not? I'll point it out just in case. So, you know, fiddled around with this. I got my first couple of screws started, bolts started, I guess, and it wasn't too bad, but then I realized that if I just turn the chair on its side, problem solved. And so you just start that thing, start one of the bolts, and then you can just cinch it right on down. And that holds that back in nice and in place. So yeah, really simple, not too hard. And you can kind of hear that little bit of clicking. The bolts have like a kind of like some teeth to help grab that lock washer, and so those teeth are just kind of hitting an edge while I was cinching down, and you just click, 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 click. So nothing wrong there, nothing was breaking. That was just perfectly normal. So yeah, once you get all that stuff cinched down, you'll have your back on. That was step 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish tightening everything down, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, now we're down to the final step of putting all this chair together. And if you're thinking, wow, that seemed pretty easy, you're right, it was pretty easy. I've got to say, not disappointed at all. So really, there's setting the chair on the base was really easy. Just have to pick it up, balance it, put it right on top. You're good to go. So then the final step that they have is they have these little caps here to cover that. And what you use to screw that in, they just got a little tiny, and I'm gonna just try to focus in on that a little bit better. They got this little tiny bolt here, nothing fancy, just one simple bolt that you'll use to screw right into it. So yeah, just put it kind of right there onto the side of the chair. Of course, you got the 1 Allen wrench that they include with the device, with the chair and the packaging, and it just, yeah. I'll see if I can find this, because that would be the question, right? So yeah, I am right there, and I'm going to turn this around towards me in my right hand here, because I seem to be having some minor issues. And by issues, I mean I'm not finding the hole. Okay guys, so actually that wasn't too terribly bad. Got it in there like right after, and it really all it was is just need a little more focus and a little more concentration on both of my hands holding this piece in the right position and then pushing that bolt in. And after that, it was pretty easy to get that bolt in. That was easily the hardest part of this whole putting this chair together, and it really was not hard at all. So yeah, assembly, really simple on this guy. So one more thing I want to say about the assembly that I really like that OPSeat is doing, very simple thing, not a major design, you know, not something that you might just be blown away by, but every one of the screws or the bolts that you've got to tighten down have a very clear stopping point where you just know you got it all the way down. So you do not have to He-Man these things down and super tighten them and worry about breaking something. As long you can tighten the bigger ones just reasonably, everything kind of just stops and it's telling you, hey, that's tight enough, stop there. So I like that on the design. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a closer look, and then we will actually talk about how this chair feels. All right, looks like we have ourselves a completed chair and it looks nice. I went with the black and purple. I've kind of become a big fan of purple lately. And you'll have to excuse a little bit of my desk mess. I know it doesn't look normal. I don't have my second system there. It's because I'm moving things around and getting stuff tested out and stuff. So let's take a quick closer look at this guy. So I'm going to kind of come in a little bit closer. So yeah, look at that. Nice OPSeat label right there on the front. It's all stitched in. So it looks really nice and clean. Come over here to the side a little bit, and if you can kind of see that there, we've got, I'm trying to hold this as steady as I can. I don't have like a perfect kind of steady cam, but I got a decent amount of stability off of this. But you kind of see that stitching there, and it looks really sharp. Everything looks like it's been put together nicely. I don't see really anything that looks shoddy or really roughly stitched together. We got a kind of like a lumbar support pillow and like a little headrest pillow. I'm sure you can kind of change those however you want to use them. But yeah, nice little pillows here. I'm going to go ahead and come down here and I'm going to grab one of these guys. Now, one of the other things I was kind of looking at is I was trying to see how the stitching was on the sides here, and everything on this one looked pretty solid. And so then I grabbed this guy and was looking at how these things are stitched in, and that looks pretty nice. You see a little bit of a thread there, but that's one of the very few. And you know, if you just use like a nail clip or something, you could clip it. If we look over here at where these are sewed in, I'm not a sewing expert, and there might be better stitchings to use out there in the world. But all around, I'm going to see if that'll focus in just a little bit better now. All around though, it looks solid. It looks like it's been done nicely. It doesn't look like it's been barely put together so that it'll just fall apart instantly. Everything on these pillows look like they're going to hold up pretty well. The elasticity on this strap is very nice. It's a pretty thick elastic strap too. It's not super thin or feels very flimsy. So all around, that's not bad. So yeah, there we go. Kind of get a closer look at that base again. Of course, there's all of our casters. Everything looks pretty solid. So really, there is only one last thing to do. We need to see how comfortable it is. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about how this chair feels, at least from my perspective, here in a second. But I thought, what if I had family members of various sizes to explain how comfortable the chair is? Let's see how that turns out. I see. So how does this chair feel?
It's comfortable.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let's describe that a little bit more.
It's comfortable.
Okay. Do you think you could maybe like a little more detail or explain that a little bit more?
It's very comfortable.
Okay, Leah, how's the chairs feeling? A little louder? Can't quite hear you. Is it, want to say anything about how it feels? Is it comfortable? Okay, Valerie, so I'm hoping you can redeem me here. So how does this chair feel?
I feel like it's really comfortable.
Okay.
Comfortable for me. It fits my posture really well.
Nice.
I love the pillow back here. That's cool. The height, it's great. It's really great.
Cool.
Everything about it's good for me.
Nice. How's it look?
You know what? I'm not loving the gamer feel of it all. I feel like it could be more Victorian style.
Oh,
I
okay.
would love a Victorian style chair. Or maybe
Yeah, that's probably
more
good.
embroidery on the cushions.
No.
That would be really pretty. I would
Yeah,
love some embroidery.
I think we're
Vibrant
okay.
colors, like maybe a bright pink or purple. I would love that. I think that would look really great. I think that would be pretty.
Don't think
I also like
gamers
rustic wood. If they had like a rustic wood for the arms here, I would love that. I think that would be
It's not
great too.
comfortable. Okay, so maybe that didn't go quite as good as I planned out, but that's all right. I'll go ahead and give you my 2 cents worth on this chair. So honestly, this chair is actually very comfortable. Now, when I first got it, it was a little stiff, as any new furniture is. I mean, if you ever bought a couch from the furniture store, you tested the one on a show floor, like, oh, this is so comfortable. And then you get it at home and you're like, oh, this is really hard. And then it breaks in after a couple weeks, like, oh, okay, no, this is fine. And that's exactly what's going on here. After the first day or two, it was pretty stiff, but as it broke into just a normal use, within a week, it felt pretty comfortable. Still firm, as far as supportive is concerned, but not uncomfortable. The big thing about this chair, though, is while it's got a firm feel, it's also very supportive. I mean, when you were sitting in this chair is fixing your posture. It's almost forcing you to sit straight with the proper 90-degree angles at your elbows and at your knees and at your hips. I mean, this thing is just very much trying to make sure that you are sitting correctly while still being comfortable. My feet weren't falling asleep. I wasn't having weird pressure points. This is a pretty comfortable chair. Now, I'm not like a super huge guy, but I'm 5'10" and about 200 pounds. So, you know, I'm definitely, well, maybe right at average for American size, but definitely larger than probably certain other areas of the world of what their average size might be. But even then, it's nice to have a chair that fits very comfortably in that level. So yeah, really good chair, good quality materials. I definitely don't have any complaints there. As far as some of the other aspects of this chair, there's just a few things that I think are important to notice. Now, first off, the armrest, they definitely don't feel too bad, but they don't feel super solid. I mean, you can see there's just a little bit of wiggle here. And when you pull the lever and drop it down, it feels like a nice smooth action though, so the catch feels good. But if you like to really bang on the arms of your chair when you're having a bad match in, you know, whatever game you're playing, you might not want to do that with these guys. It might not be too healthy. So they still feel pretty solid though, but they do have just a little bit of wiggle in there. They're probably not as sturdy as some possibly armrests, some would be more expensive chairs. As far as the adjustment on the bottom, it's just a straight standard lever that you pull up. And so the chair has a little bit of height that you can put to it, and then you can drop it back down. Of course, like most chairs, the lever itself clicks in and out, so you can lock the chair so it won't roll back, or you can leave it unlocked so you can tilt back. Now, one of the nice features though that this chair does do, like other gaming chairs, is we do have a reclining action. So we can actually take this guy all the way down and back up. So, you know, if you've got a long wait for a raid, or just feel like kicking back and taking a nap, you can kick back and take a nap. So you can really adjust this back to be as comfortable as you want it to be. So yeah, we've got an included lumbar pillow. We've got the included head pillow. As you can see, I don't really use the lumbar pillow, but it looks nice and makes a nice prop for this video. So we have it out there. So yeah, nice chair. lots of decent features. Let's go ahead and wrap this review up. Okay guys, so we've got a chair from OPSeat here. It's comfortable. It's got some pretty solid features. It does have some aspects of it that don't seem as high quality as what we might see in other chairs on the market. But is there a good reason for that? And the answer is, well, yes, definitely a good reason. So here's the deal. These chairs on the OPSeat website run $220. That is a really good price for a gaming chair. $220 is super hard to beat. Here's the thing, when you start looking for chairs that have around a 350 pound weight limit and have the kind of, larger base, width, various aspects that this chair has to fit on a comfort level like this, you're usually looking at well over $300, sometimes in the $400 range. That means this chair is sometimes undercutting the competition by as much as half. That is a really excellent price. So they may not use the greatest armrest, but that's a really good reason why they don't. So yeah, all around, this is a fantastic chair. Now, apparently today is going to be the day of cameos. So my cat decided she's just gonna come and say hi. So we'll just go ahead and let it this time because whatever. So see, even my cat thinks this chair is comfortable. I don't know. Maybe I should have had my dog check it out. So yeah, all around we've got a really, really good amount of chair for a very, very low price. Because of that, there's no two ways about it. The OPSeat clearly gets a Pure Overclock Editor's Choice Award. I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing I was looking for. A chair that has some good quality, but doesn't cost an arm and a leg. So overall, I think we're doing really good. And guess what? You're looking at the official chair of the Hardware Hound now, because this guy's gonna be around for quite some time now. This is a great chair for me. So yeah, anyway, I hope you like this review. Check out OPSeat, especially if you're looking for something that isn't gonna cost you $300, $400. This might be a great option for you, especially if you're, 5'10", 6 foot, 6'2" tall, and you're needing a chair that you think will work for you. This might be a really, really good option for you. So like this video if you like it, and subscribe to my channel. I will catch you later. By the way, guys, before I forget, if you would like an additional $10 off of this OPSeat, use the code PUREOC at checkout and you get $10 off. And that's PUREOC, P-U-R-E-O-C. Like overclock, short for overclock, OC. I'm sure you got it. PUREOC, use that promo code, extra $10 off. Catch you later.